Ayush was a young boy who lived in a small village nestled amidst lush green fields and towering mountains. He loved to play all day and stayed awake until late at night. But there was one problem: he couldn't wake up early in the morning. His parents would call him repeatedly, but Ayush would just turn over and fall back asleep. One day, his father said, "Ayush, you must develop the habit of waking up early. It will make you strong and wise." But Ayush would just smile and say, "I'll try," never really meaning it. Hearing this, his grandfather suggested, "Why don't you meet the wise sage who lives by the river? He can teach you the secret of waking up early." Ayush was intrigued. The next day, after waking up late again, he decided to meet the sage. He walked through the forest to a small ashram, where an elderly sage was meditating under a large banyan tree. The sage opened his eyes and smiled. "Welcome, Ayush. Why have you come here?" "Wise sage," Ayush said, "I want to wake up early, but no matter how hard I try, I can't. Can you teach me the secret?" The sage nodded and said, "Certainly, but first stay with me for a day and do as I do." Ayush agreed. The beginning of the lesson: the sage's life was very simple. He woke up before sunrise, meditated, and remained energetic throughout the day. But Ayush found it difficult. When the sage tried to wake him, he turned over, pulled the blanket over himself, and said, "Just 5 more minutes." The sage laughed. "Ayush, do you know why you have trouble waking up early?" Ayush shook his head, his eyes still sleepy. The sage picked up a small bowl and filled it with water. "This is your day," he said. Then he added more water until it overflowed. "At night, your mind remains full like this bowl. If you sleep with a full mind, it will be difficult to wake up in the morning." Ayush was confused. "So what should I do?" The sage smiled. "I will tell you 3 simple secrets." 3 secrets. 1. Sleep early and let go of worries. The sage said, "The sun sets and the world slows down. It signals us to rest. If you sleep late, your body won't be refreshed." That night, Ayush tried to sleep early, but his mind was full of thoughts. "Did I play enough today? Will I really be able to wake up early?" Thinking this, he fell asleep late again. In the morning, the sage said, "Before sleeping, sit quietly and take deep breaths. Let go of all your thoughts." That night, Ayush closed his eyes, took deep breaths, and felt himself calming down. Soon he fell asleep easily. 2. Use the power of intention. The sage asked Ayush, "If a lion were chasing you, would you wake up instantly?" Ayush laughed. "Of course, I would wake up and run away immediately." The sage nodded. "That's because you had a strong reason to wake up. Before sleeping, tell yourself, 'I will wake up early and feel refreshed.' If your mind believes it, your body will follow." That night, Ayush slowly said before sleeping, "I will wake up early and feel refreshed." He repeated it 5 times. 3. Welcome the morning with joy. The next morning, when the sage woke Ayush, he still felt a little sluggish. The sage smiled and said, "If you wake up thinking, 'Oh no, it's morning again,' you will always feel tired. Instead, smile and say, 'A new day, a new adventure.'" Ayush tried this. He opened his eyes with a smile and stretched his arms. He was surprised he actually felt refreshed. The transformation: Ayush practiced these 3 secrets every day. Soon he started waking up early without any trouble. He had more energy, felt happier, and even had extra time to play. One day he returned home and told his father, "I have learned the secret of waking up early." He told his family everything the wise sage had taught him. His father smiled proudly, and his grandfather nodded happily. From that day on, Ayush began to rise with the sun, refreshed and ready to welcome each new day. And so, a young boy learned a wise habit from a sage one that would serve him well throughout his life.